Hey everyone, this is Doyle. I'm going to be doing a short tutorial video of the indie game Fast and Light created by Subset Games. This is your menu, and I'm just going to jump right into a new game here. Here's the new game screen. You have your starter ship here. You can rename it if you really want. I'm going to go ahead and rename that, give you an example. Once you unlock new ships, you can access them here. There's different layout types. You unlock these by completing the 3 unique achievements available at that ship. You can hide rooms if you want. In the bottom left you have your crew. You can also rename these if you really want to. And now you have your renamed crew. Here it shows every system unique to this ship and the power that starts with it. I'll explain more of that later. And then you have your weapons. You have the Artemis missiles, and on the right hand side you can see the stats for that, and the burst laser 2, stats for that on the right hand side as well. We're going to jump right in on normal. It's the intro information box, you can skip that. So Faster and Light is played somewhat like a story. You jump from location to location. Each location needs to be connected to jump to it, trying to reach this exit marker and going from sector to sector. And on your way there, you can fight ships, find items, and unique events. So here's your basic ship. This blue outside ring is your shields. And you have your 3 crew that you saw in the menu. I'm just going to quickly move them. You left click to select crew, and you right click to move them. So here's the game screen. This is the layout. You have your basic ship here. These orange blocks are your doors that you can open with left clicks and close with left clicks. The gray is your subsystems or main systems, depending on the one that you're actively looking at. And then information about your ship in the top left, bottom left, and a little bit on the bottom right. So to explain subsystems, you have piloting, which is right here. You need piloting to fly your ship. If I take my crew member out of the piloting, I can no longer jump, and I can't move to a next location. Piloting also gives you an evade bonus. As you can see on the left side, I have 10%. With my crew out, I have 0. It's very important to have a crew member in the piloting system at all times. You also have doors. Doors allow you to remotely open doors around your ship. If that is down, you will need a crew member to manually go through the doors. There are a few benefits of that that you'll see in Sector 1 walkthrough that I do as well. But for starters, opening outside doors will drop oxygen levels. If your ship runs out of oxygen, which you can see by a percentage on the left hand side, you will suffocate and lose the game. It's also marked by these red dashed lines, and that whoosh sound indicates an oxygen breach in your ship, which can happen for many reasons. You have sensors, which allows you to see the interior of your ship. If you didn't have sensors, you wouldn't actually be able to see each block. In Sector 1 walkthrough, you'll see that as well. This is your shields. I usually will keep a crew member in shields area, but it's not mandatory. Shields, as you can see, are up here. That's your current shield status. You can have 4 total. A shield will block 1, sometimes 2 incoming fire before you'll actually take hull damage. Hull damage is your life points. If this drops to 0, your ship will explode. This can be repaired, but shields are your best line of defense against weapons. Here you have your med bay, which can heal crew if they take damage. So to demonstrate that, I'll run a crew out in no oxygen. It's dropping pretty rapidly. If I close that up, you can see him healing. You have your weapons here. This is used to fire missiles, lasers, any weapons that you collect along the way. Your oxygen system If this crashes, oxygen levels will slowly drop in your entire ship. This is a very important system to repair if it goes down. And finally, you have your engine, which controls more evade bonuses later on, but mainly it's the other system to allow you to jump. If this is down or disabled, you will not be able to jump. You can also see your systems and the power going to them in the bottom left corner here. Each one has a short description of what it does, and the people markers above them indicate areas that benefit from having a crew member in that section. So if I bring crew into shields, it's been lit up. And if I bring my other crew member into engine, that lights up as well. Yeah, it's pretty useful to have crew in those sections. At the start of the game, this is usually my layout. One in piloting, one in shields, that has quick access to 3 systems beside it, and one in engines, who can quickly fix oxygen, fix engine, which is very important, and weapons, which is a pretty short distance. In the bottom right, you have your subsystems, piloting, sensors, and doors. And every time you hover over a system, it glows yellow, as you can see. Subsystems aren't as important as your vital systems as shown here, but they are still equally important. You have an option with your subsystem to close all doors and open all doors. I use hotkeys, so hotkey Z will open, Z again will completely open, and X will close. And as you can see from that second, I nearly hit half oxygen. It's very important to watch oxygen levels or you will lose. On the left side, you have your crew, quick health bars, oxygen level evade. This is your fuel. Each jump, this is considered a jump if I was to visit this location, costs 1 fuel. This is your missiles, which are used for only certain weapons. The Artemis does require a missile, where the burst laser does not. And these are your drone parts. This ship doesn't have drone control at the moment. You won't get into that till later, so for now I'm going to leave that information out. Up here is your scrap. Scrap is your currency. It's used for repairs, buying weapons, buying extra crew members. A lot of the events in the game will require scrap. Just remember that that's your basic currency. And finally, you have weapons. To activate, you have to left click. You can see them charging here. And weapons also get a benefit from being powered by crews. Sometimes I will leave my crew member in weapons instead of engine, just for the extra benefits. But usually I'll leave them in engines. So now the weapons are charged, and if I was to attack a ship, I'd be able to activate them and select which area to fight. And something unique to Fast and Light is this power control. It's your reactor. So right now I have no power available to me. I've used it all. And as you can see, there's a black box with a white border around my engine. That indicates it's not fully powered. If I was to have one extra power bar, I could put that to the engine and be fully powered. And if I deactivate burst laser, I have 2 extra power. As you can see, it drops here, but I can allocate that to the engines. Right click to get rid of power, left click to add. Now systems can be disabled and destroyed by incoming enemy ship fire. If it gets disabled, you'll lose power. Sometimes you can lose power, and if it's disabled enough, you won't be able to use it at all. So it's very important to monitor what's happening and get your crew to repair it as quickly as possible. Many times oxygen will be targeted, and if it's disabled, you'll need to fix it. And sometimes it won't be repowered depending on the scenarios that are happening, and you'll have to make sure to watch power supply going to it, or even fixing it won't fix your oxygen problem. And finally, in the top right beside jump is your ship. You have your main systems, subsystems again, and your reactor. And as you can see by the numbers, for every amount, if you have that scrap, you can upgrade. So for oxygen, if you had 25 scrap, you could get the second upgrade, which is 3 times quicker oxygen resupply. However, with shields, you would need the 20, which gets you nothing, then the 30 to get you 2 shield bars. The problem with that is every time you upgrade, you need the power to supply that upgrade. So you wouldn't just be able to do this with 50 scrap. You would need the 50 scrap and then extra, however many extra you need to gain extra power to your reactor so you can power that secondary shield, which would be markered in this black area here if you had 2 shields. So hopefully this tutorial helped you. I do have a walkthrough of the entire Sector 1 that actually went extremely well for tutorial purposes. So if you want to check that out, hopefully this tutorial helped you. And thanks for watching. See ya.